Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? As I'm laying down here, looking down at my blanket that has fall themed leaves, pumpkins, leaves, pumpkins. Seems like this is something else. I know when you're looking through the camera on the phone, called a camera, I see, but I can't see where to point. It almost looks like a little mushroom, white pumpkin. Anyhow, this is the blanket I have. And I'm listening to the birds that never I paused. I thought I didn't turn on the video. I hear the birds outside my window. I think I mentioned before in a video, maybe not, that they never left this year. Every year around, well, before winter sometime, they leave, and they're always in my tree. Oops, there's my finger. That's where the thing must be, where you look out from the phone. Anyhow, they always leave at a certain time and they always come back at a certain time. So this year they didn't leave, and I don't know about the rest of the country, but probably y'all had this kind of, I don't know why I say y'all sometimes, but I'm not from the South. But anyhow, if you have we supposedly have 4 seasons, but lately it seems to be very cold or very hot. But when it starts getting cooler, they leave, and I assume they go down south. They go somewhere that's warmer. It must be inbred in them that they know to do that. And this is the first year they didn't do it. And again, like I said, the only reason I know is because this one tree that's right outside of my room, they chirp and chirp and chirp, and they're chirping right now, which is a weird time. They don't usually chirp. They chirp in the morning. And when they come back, we have already changed the the time. So then that's when you spring forward, which is coming up soon. And so then, like, say if it's only 5 a.m., it's 6 a.m. makes you spring forward. I think some of the states don't do this fall back, spring forward. So it's always earlier, so it's bad enough that. But this year the birds are so messed up that when they're here, they don't chirp in the, like, I don't know, it's between 3 or 4 now. I don't know, something like that. They don't usually do that. So I get another extra. I know a lot of people like birds and listen to, but I had gone to lay down because my sleep is, so bad. So I've been trying to take care of myself, which is hard for me to do, when you're used to being the caretaker of everyone. But I'm trying to make a concerted effort to, remember to think, okay, you didn't sleep again very well. Just at least lay down, rest your body, as my mom would say. But I hear the birds, and I think it's because we had an ice storm. I don't know if they ended up, yeah, they did end up calling it that. So they said we were going to have bad weather and sleet and hail and whatever, but nothing like we had. Where actually Polly and I were in I believe the kitchen. I don't know what room we were in, but anyhow, we heard something, and it sounded like a big boom, like some kind of, I don't know how to even describe it. It would be maybe like if someone maybe took I don't know, let's say if you ordered a washer or a dryer. I'm trying to think the best description. Something, and this would never happen, but I'm trying to figure a way to describe it. So say someone delivered a washer and it's heavy and it's in a box. No, but, well, they would have moving pieces or stuff that would make it. It has a drum. Well, let's say there's a box that's very heavy that's up on I'm talking the size of a box that's pretty big, maybe size of half of the size of a washer or dryer box. I'm just trying to describe the sound we heard. So just imagine, I don't know, I haven't bought a washer and dryer forever. I have no wood. Where's wood? Oh gosh. Here, knock on wood. So, but that heavy, and say it's up on a shelf, which obviously it wouldn't be on a shelf, and then it falls, so you hear like a boom, like that, but very loud, and we both looked at each other and kind of got scared. I'm not even going to say what we thought was happening, but so we just kind of crouched together, kind of scared, like, what do we do? We were watching a vlog, that's right. So I turned the vlog right down so I could listen. Oh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about what we thought had happened. And so we're there thinking, okay, now what do we do? And that was at, the night, the beginning. I think that day was the beginning of the sleet and snow and hail, and maybe rain, and just a mix of everything, which they said would, excuse me, which would cause some, just some slipperiness. But we heard the forecast, this was a few days before, I think they said. So anyhow, thought nothing of anything except what was that. So we're sitting there with no sound, thinking what to grab if we had to protect ourselves. Lesson learned. Now we have something to protect ourselves. But anyhow, it was so scary. Gosh, I hope you don't hear my stomach is growling again. It was really scary, and I just couldn't imagine what it was. And I was too frozen, scared to even move to look what it could be. But it couldn't be anything. There was nothing, and it was sound came from the other room. And that room, it's like an open doorway to that room, because well, you can imagine who didn't put a door in there when I had even ordered it. But anyhow, so I plastic off that room, because that room is like an outer side where it gets really cold. That's why the kitchen is so cold, because it's only plastic off. That didn't sound right. The doorway's plastic off. So anyhow, I know it's in that room, and there's nothing remotely close to something that would make that sound. So of course we were scared, and so Polly thought that I could text, phone, whatever it would take to make communication with his father, and he could go check it out. Now, we all know he has not had contact with us, especially him, at all. Hasn't asked about him, nothing. But I saw how scared Polly was, as was I, and I mean, who else would we call? So I was calling, texting, left a voicemail, and I knew it was the time that he'd be up, because he knows my schedule, I know his. So no answer, nothing. And then finally we got a text back, and I don't remember what the first text said. And then, oh yeah, he says probably the storm. I said, we don't have a storm. Oh yeah, because the storm was done like the morning of the day before. I said, we have no storm. It ended. We didn't really have a lot. It was snow coming down slowly. I didn't see the whatever part would have made it, like slippery. I said, there's no storm here. Well, he's always right, his father, because that's how his mommy raised him, that whatever he says, if the sky is purple, the sky is purple. And I'm trying to explain through text, because I tried to call, so I know he's up again, and he didn't answer because he's not going to talk, because, again, he is God in his head. And no offense to anyone, because I believe in God too, and he's the farthest thing from God by any means. So he said it's probably the storm. And again, I said, we have no storm. Whatever storm had ended like the day before in the morning. So this was like, he gets up early in the morning. So this was the day after the storm was, and everything was calm. We didn't get any wind. And there was no wind. There was nothing happening. So he thought we just heard it's storming outside, which, you can't hear snow, but I guess he can. So anyhow, I said, our son is very scared. And he said, again, it's nothing, it's just a storm. And he says, well, why don't you just go outside and walk around? Well, let's see. I'm not even going to say the incident where there was something, and he was afraid to go look when he used to live here long ago, and I had to. So, obviously, not only is he scared, but he's not going to bother because I have figured out that not so much we, yes, but Polly must not exist in his head anymore, or has he ever? Because his son is scared, I'm telling him, and he is not coming by. But he wants me to go outside and look, knowing very well that my sneakers are so old, they have holes in them. The holes aren't that bad. I mean they are. My feet would get wet because there was snow out there, and it's icy, slippery, I should say. Well, icy, slippery, and there's no tread on my sneakers. I don't have boots. He was supposed to get Polly boots, and then I would try to fit my feet into Polly's old boots, which they might not work, but I don't know with ice what would be the better choice, the boots that would barely fit or the sneakers that have no tread. And I explained we don't have anything on our footwear. There's no way I can't go out with my sneakers that have no tread. Well, he doesn't care. He pretty much probably acts as if, I'm not even talking. Who knows? But that's a rare occasion that he even answered, but I just kept texting him until he did because Polly was so scared, as was I. Of course, I didn't write. I don't believe I wrote I was scared because he wouldn't care, but I thought he'd care enough. And he had enough time before he had to go somewhere. And, but he was just determined. It was storming. And it wasn't storming, like I said, the day before the storm. And it wasn't a big storm like they forecast, or so I thought. But anyhow, it wasn't, the damage was worse than they had forecast. So when I saw, like I said, it was light snow, I actually was going to take a video of it, but I thought, who wants to look at snow? I mean, it was pretty coming down, just slowly, nice and all. And like I said, we didn't even hear I think Polly said he heard a little on he has an air conditioner unit in his room that doesn't work, so it sticks out the window, so you hear it. And of course, that should have been taken out long ago, but of course I can't because it's too heavy. And well, we won't go into who could have but wouldn't, but anyhow, he heard a little when it rains, if you have an air conditioning that sticks out the window, well, yours probably works, but you can hear a little raindrops, but not a lot. So anyhow, that was that. So we sat there together for a while in the kitchen, and that's how I'm pretty 100% sure there is some kind of a woman who would be described with the letter W, as I have said the word before, because only that type of woman would not allow man, in quotes, I put that in quotes as, that's highly whatever. I don't know what the word is. You know what I'm saying. Other times he would, I wouldn't say always, but, something where, his son was that scared and, how I describe what happened, he would come over and check. I'm not saying every time, but he would. And this would have been one of the times before this woman, and it begins with a W. And also his father went on a vacation. Oh yeah, I don't know if I vlogged about it. I might have done a vlog but not put over. Yep, he went on vacation, but he can't get our son Pediasure, which I text him about, that he's losing a lot of weight and he needs Pediasure, but he doesn't have the money, but he has money to go on a vacation. So not only, I didn't want to text him, to tell you the truth, because it infuriated me that he dare goes on a vacation to a place where I had begged, yes, that's what I have to do with him, beg, to bring us so our son could experience that place. But anyhow, it's a whole nother story time. But he wouldn't come, so we're just sitting there. Now in hindsight, I don't know really what we could have done. Walked around and looked and seen. So we just sat kind of, the vlog was off, or the movie we were watching, whatever we were watching on my phone, just sitting kind of listening to if there was more noise. And he was petrified, Polly. I felt so bad that, I got a hold of his father, and his father didn't come through for him. Just another disappointment. It's been many, many months. His father still hasn't asked how is he doing. He hasn't asked to speak to him, nothing. And the hurt in Polly's face just rips me apart. So, what was it? What could it be? Well, this video is long enough, so I guess we'll do part 2 on this to tell you we finally did find out what it was. If you want to guess below, you can. But we'll stop here so it doesn't get too long for you guys as you enjoy this pumpkin. And I should take little video more of this blanket, because it picks out pictures, and there's not going to be many choices except that white pumpkin, and everything is upside down for whatever reason. I wish that was the right way. That's cute, the white pumpkin. But anyhow, yep, so that was our escapades for the night. And it was more toward early morning, because we were watching a movie. They have free movies on YouTube. I don't know, did I say I can't remember now. Well, it might have been like a Hallmark or something else. Lifetime. I think it's Lifetime is the movies. So we've been watching those, because that's all we have. But anyhow, so we never finished the movie, needless to say. So if you want to guess below what you thought it was, otherwise I'll make this a part 2. I don't know. It'll be the next day or whenever. And I haven't forgot about the series I started about being a caregiver for someone with dementia. But it just had to stop. And when I started back up, I'll tell you why, if I remember. No, I don't have dementia. I just have so much stress, it's unbelievable. But anyhow, do you get scared of things, like if you're in your house and you hear some kind of noise like that? Or what would you have done different? So anyhow, stay tuned for part 2 of, I don't know what I'm going to title this yet, but hope you're all doing well. I hope your weather isn't bad. And if you live in a state that has 4 seasons, or at least 2, cold and hot, and if your birds fly down south or wherever they fly, usually, did they fly this year? I'd be interested to know if it was just here that they got mixed up, which will also be in the part 2 of what that noise was about, why the birds are chirping so madly right now outside my window when they don't usually chirp when they're here at this time. So for now, there's 2 guesses. Why would the birds be chirping here? I believe they're here and never went away because we had such warm weather into the season where they'd be leaving. But anyhow, stay tuned for the second part of this to see what was that noise that we heard. So for now, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share, sharing is caring. Be kind to people, you don't know what they're going through. Be the reason someone smiles today. And, yep, that's it for now. So I hope everything's good on your neck of the woods. Bye for now.